Your turn to pick.
Let's go. I'm the man in Dota 2. We can take it to the scrimmage, and you know that I be winning. Just give it 30 minutes. Gagging in the lane. Hey, yo, he's in that gross. I see him trying to kite. Yeah, let's see just how far that goes. I carry in the scoreboard, he's carried in the hearse. Your tier 2 towers and your rats getting murked. Demolish what's in my way from the start to the finish. Like I said in the beginning, I'm the man.
Hello everybody, welcome to the very first episode of First Pick. It wouldn't be a great episode if I didn't already script the overlay, so let me swap you guys, put you in the right windows. But yeah, so we're here, this is the very first episode, very excited that we were able to get this show off the ground and get going for you guys. I tried to explain a little bit in a Reddit post, if you don't look for it, kind of what the game plan is and what we're looking for. But other than that, we're just going to dive right into it. If you guys have feedback, all that kind of stuff, we'll talk about it at the end. So my name is Finch. I'm here. I'll be the host for this show. With me, Mania. How you doing, Mania? It's great to have you here.
Hey.
Okay, there we go again here. I thought maybe we were having even more technical difficulties. So thanks for coming on, man. I know it's a little bit late for you. Then the second one as well, Merlini. Welcome, man. It's great to have you on.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. You're on the West Coast, right? So it's noon for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's a good time for us. Mania's staying up a little bit late. So yeah, guys, it's great to have you here. This should be fun. Thank you to everybody showing up in the Twitch chat. It's absolutely wonderful to have you guys on. So right away, let's talk about patch point 6.79. It's been an absolute crazy fest. Who knows really where it's going to land. I mean, we had that Necrobook thing for a while, which I guess is still a thing. The Hand of Midas thing. Merlini, why don't you go first? What's been the biggest, most crazy thing so far with this patch that you've liked?
Me or Mania? Sorry.
You go for it. You.
I think just the Hand of Midas craze. It's just absolutely insane how many people have gotten it. I watched an NEL game yesterday for the tournament, and it was like 5 Midases in less than 8 minutes, and that is simply absurd. And there was 4 on one team. And everyone's just trying to get that baby out as soon as possible, which is a little bit ludicrous since the item itself wasn't changed, but that is definitely the most startling thing for me.
So what do you think is the big reason behind that? I mean, obviously the gold increase helps, but what was like the major thing that made teams think that, hey, let's just get a whole bunch of Hand of Midases and win?
To be honest, I don't really know what one single factor is for the catalyst. I even made a video about it, but like as to why everyone got it now as opposed to before, it's just a mix of everything. I think it's like the neutral creeps giving less experience and less gold, people wanting to compensate for that, people getting like very slightly more gold per minute. They're like, oh, well, if I have gold, I can get my Midas even earlier now. And I also think it's just really good for passive play, and it rewards farming, and people love to farm, and just puts a lot of pressure on the other team, because if they don't punish you for it, you're going to win out 20-25 minutes plus.
It's interesting, and it's weird to see a Crystal Maiden walk around with a Hand of Midas. It's like, I never thought I'd see that day. Mania, what about you? What's been your biggest change with this patch so far?
I just like all the Necrobooks, like in the game today, with LGD China with Rising Stars. There's like in game 1, I think they all went like for books, and it was pretty crazy. Even Chen running around with a book and stuff like that. So, and the carry Luna also just built a book, so I think it's just great to finish games early if you like feel like you're in a lead, and then you got like a economical like a lead, then you could just go for books and try to finish games. So that's pretty great.
It's pretty great too, because I won a whole bunch of rares off Rising Stars just because they built a whole bunch of Necrobooks that game. So I don't know. I mean, how do you counter the Necrobook? Well, I mean, a long time ago, I guess not too long, but tournaments would ban the all Necrobook type thing. Do you think that's needed, Mania? Do you think that's needed again, or is just totally viable?
I think like the only counter right now is like having BKBs and try to just kill the Necrobooks fast or something like that. Like someone mentioned, Omni could be okay to have like put repel on some hero that just can kill them fast, but I don't really know.
How about Merlin? Do you have any suggestions on getting around the Necrobook thing?
I'm not sure if it's completely balanced right now. The biggest deal for me is that people just summon it and then they right-click the tower, and then they're forced to do something about it, right? You can't actually just spam it out with like a caudal wave and hope to just delay. So people are ending the games earlier, and that's like the biggest issue. It like forces fights, whereas teams could just sit up that T3 for much longer periods of time. than before, and it makes a split push stronger. But that's a side thing. I agree with Mania though. You just need BKBs and need more 5-on-5. So we may just see people draft more of that instead of gank and split push.
I think that kind of jumps into the next thing I want to ask you guys on. Team fights obviously seem kind of the I don't know, like the flavor of this patch. It's been a lot of these big team fight heroes. I mean, we see Pugna picked a lot. We've seen Lich picked a lot. Venomancer. Obviously, these heroes are damn good now, but we're also seeing more team fight. I mean, what do you guys think? You got Crystal Maiden, Lich, Venomancer, Earthshaker, Pugna. Like these heroes who weren't picked as much, but now they're being picked a lot. Mania, what do you think about the kind of the rise of these supports? And all of a sudden, they were being first picked. I mean, Crystal Maiden first pick. That's the same thing. I never thought we'd really see that often. Do you have a favorite out of those, or any kind of thoughts on that?
I just like all like heroes that have like a stun or something that they contribute like all over the game, and also late game it's also strong to have a lot of disables. Like I saw DK, they in the last match they had like something like Kunkka, Shaker, Timbersaw, and can't remember the last one, but they just had a lot of disable. I think it was Lion, the last one, and they all just contribute so much to. They can snipe people from far away, and it's just great to watch. So you can do a lot of things with them all game. Also defend towers easily because you have like spammable nukes. So
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I know you're kind of famous for your Earthshaker in the past, and I think Earthshaker is one of the most fun heroes to watch. Just because of the stuff you could do with him, block paths, stuns, that kind of thing. I think he's a really good one. Venomancer's not as fun to watch, in my opinion. But Merlini, do you have any favorite support that you're seeing right now?
People seem to really like Pugna and Vino. I think those two are the bigger ones that I've seen. Yeah. I think just because they're like pretty good early. I think the biggest thing is they just push towers, and even though people are getting a lot of hand of Midases, games I don't think are actually lasting that much longer. Some games are, but some games I've just seen close out in like 15 to 20 minutes. And with these supports, like you can either just like end the game really really early and push up to T3 with Venom Wards or Pugna Blast, or even just take down fast T1s and T2s, or you can just get an early hand of Midas on your team with that tower gold and then secure your lead. So we're just seeing people just try and get that lead as soon as possible instead of, hey, let's get a little bit far behind in our lanes and then we'll come back through team fights. That's not really happening as much anymore.
What do you think about games are shorter? I would totally agree with you on that. Do you think that's a good thing for Dota or a bad thing for Dota?
I think it's a good thing for Dota. It makes the draft way more interesting.
Okay. It seems like a lot of the times the drafts are interesting. It seems like they're almost more important as well, because a lot of games seem that they kind of steamroll or snowball, I guess is the right term, and just get out of hand a lot quicker. Before, we would see those games where maybe 50, 60 minutes, you win a team fight and you could win the game even though you lost the whole time, where it seems like right now, if you lose 0 through 10, 15, the game's pretty much going to be over when you're on that like 15 to, say, 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
It's good for viewing. It's quicker. You don't have to watch as long.
That's true. Mania will be with me on this though. Like before, if someone picks like Chen, you're like, oh crap, we're gonna get pushed. We might lose in like 15 to 20 minutes, and you didn't really feel that sense in 6.78. And now it's like I watched LGD China versus Rising Stars, and they just straight up lost a Rax at like 12 minutes. Yeah. And you have to. They had like Bounty Hunter, which is like the worst anti-push hero ever. So they have to really think twice about how they draft, and they need more anti-push.
Yeah, I think like back in our days, it was like if you saw the opponent had like one or two like right-click heroes that didn't really contribute with anything, then you just went all the straight mass push and you just ended like that. It was like opportunity to do that, and also with the new patch, I think you could do that again. People are not really sure about what works in the patch, so you can like have some kind of surprise strats. You can go that people really don't expect what to do, or they don't know what to do against it. So.
It's fun. As far as the other big changes in the patch, I'd say the biggest two, at least in my opinion, would be the change in the jungle with the small camp and the polling camp getting swapped, and the other one being the Roshan change, so he doesn't respawn every 10 minutes. Mania, out of those two, which one do you think is bigger, more impactful?
I think definitely the pull spots changed a lot, but I saw a video with some guy playing Shaker who could just pull all the camps, like he could guide the creeps to all kind of different spots and just get leveled by that. And I saw think I saw Fear do it in one game today in ESWC, where would block the creep wave at like the tier 2 tower around there, and then pull it into the bigger creep spots. So like a hero like Sega could be used a lot now to do these kind of XP pulls instead of going to the small camps. Like when they changed it this past.
Was that it was EG Sigma, correct? That was the match this morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was EG Sigma.
Cool. Merlini, how about you? How do you feel about the jungle change? We'll start with that. Is that a good one, bad one?
I think it's a good one. We're seeing way more movement from supports. I think it also benefits a lot more a few different supports. Crystal Maiden with a level 1 Frostbite can take out the big camp Earthshaker like Mania was talking about. We see Venomancer too being able to just Plague Ward every camp, and Lich also is a big winner. So those supports are like way higher prioritized because they can get their levels just so much faster. And a hero like Disruptor, he can't really do anything special like that. And I think it kind of creates this like rift in between the support heroes, which is not that great because we like always want to see the hero pool way bigger. So with like 4 or 5 supports having like a big advantage over the other ones, it's not good in that aspect, but it's still good that we're still seeing change.
Is that part of the reason you think that we see CM Lich kind of being picked as like, very, very early in drafts? Is it due to their ability, I guess, to go into the jungle and get that experience?
Yeah, I think that like we see like smoke ganks all the time in middle, right? It's like, okay, 2-man smoke, run mid, get a kill. But if that fails and your supports are like level 2, like 5 minutes in, your team is really, really far behind. So I think people are just playing safer. Hey, we're just going to farm and get 6 by like 8 or 9 minutes, and then we can contribute a lot instead of being stuck in that no man's land where supports doesn't have their ultimate for like 10 to 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and it's kind of the rise of the support in a way. And also, my fiance will be in the background, so if anyone asks, that's who that is. So that is that on that kind of stuff. The Roshan change, how do you feel about that so far? Is that working out pretty well or not so well? Merlini, why don't you go first on this one?
I still have mixed feelings about it. One obvious thing, it emphasizes vision more with Venomancer, with Visage Birds, TA maybe, but no TA has really been seen at 6.7. You just have to constantly have vision of the Roshan pit. But other than that, it doesn't seem that big. I just see team just like sitting there for 30 seconds just doing the Ancients a little bit. So
it seems a little bit awkward. Like
it is awkward. It's very awkward.
Yeah. I don't know.
I still don't really have like a solid good or bad. How does it affect each team? It doesn't really seem that advantageous. I mean, I think slight advantage is given to the team that has map control because they before you could just like smoke and hope for a lucky pick off and then force a buyback that way. But now the team with map control, it just has better control over Roshan. Yeah. Nothing too.
It's weird because there's that game of chicken where neither team wants to commit and they're just sitting there kind of like, I hope Rosh spawns soon, I guess. But then if you go, say, at 9 minutes and he doesn't spawn until like 11 minutes, so you're standing around for 2 minutes, like, I don't know. I agree with you. It's kind of too early to tell, but it's awkward in the sense of you don't want to abandon that position on the map because obviously it's important, but then also you don't want to be standing there waiting around for that long because if they do have someone like Nature's Prophet, they can be pushing all of your other lanes while you're sitting there waiting for Roshan to spawn. So, Mania, what about you? How do you feel about this change so far?
I kind of like that you can just like prepare for it as well as you could before, and like as Ben also said, the vision is a huge deal now around Roshan. So you can, someone just don't go in and sneak it fast. But yeah, it's a bit awkward as you said if you just see 2 teams standing around Roshan like in the bushes and just wait for 2 or 3, 4 minutes, wait until someone pushes the lane. So it's like I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, I think awkward is the best way to describe it. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't a necessary change. It's interesting, but I don't know if it was the right change or the wrong change. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Is there anything else, Mania, in your opinion, in this patch that really shook things up that you'd like to bring up right now?
I don't really know. Maybe like the trank boots a bit. Like they're pretty good on supporters now. Like Maiden is really good with trank boots because you have the mana regen and now you have the health regen. When you're not doing anything, you can like go for some creeps, you can take a bit damage, and then you can just relax a bit, get your Midas out, and just farm on. And I don't know.
She
I
went
also
from being
feel like
this
the
like
Midas trend. Yeah.
she went from
The
being this
Midas
like
trend is so
giant
weird.
fat chick, the slowest hero, and then now she has the trank boots and she's just flying around the map. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's really good for gangs. So
The other one, Merlini, how about buybacks? How do you feel about the buyback change? I forgot about that one.
Buyback, I think it's a lot better now. People are actually spending their money, whether it be on Midas's necrobooks. I mean, I guess it's better than saving for buyback because you'd often get to that point in the game where it's like, well, okay, we have like 6 people with buybacks, and then both teams are like really scared. Neither team wants to lose this fight, and then it's not like all 10 people have buybacks, and then it's just this huge, massive, crazy fight with like buybacks everywhere. And I mean, buybacks are nice and all, but I think they're like your really emergency button. You can't just like, it's not a luxury really, having 2 lives, and this one just punishes it really, really badly.
And I
think it's good overall.
Yeah, I think it's good too. The one thing, at least for me, I mean, I'm not good at Dota, so I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm the world's greatest Dota player. But I always forget, like I'll buy back and go kill creeps and just be like, oh, fuck, I didn't get gold. I killed like 30 creeps and I didn't get shit. I should remember.
That's why you need Hand of Midas, man. Not hearing that cha-ching sound when you get creeps in, that's really disheartening. Makes me sad.
You know, I think the Hand of Midas thing is the most surprising. It makes sense, I guess, because you want the experience. But if you showed me those patch notes and you told me at the end of that we're going to be seeing teams get 5 Hand of Midases a game, I would have told you like, nah, you're a crazy person. That's not going to happen. Like, that's probably the most surprising thing that happened in this patch. But I think Dota has gotten better with it. It's really shaken everything up. It's more exciting. It's fresher. I mean, we're seeing these tournaments that you kind of don't know what's going to happen. You know, if you're betting a lot of rares and stuff like that, you don't really know. I mean, we saw that with DK. They were kind of dominant. It was in the tournament you're casting, right? D2L. They were pretty dominant, and then the patch dropped, and then Tongfu takes a 2-0 game off them. It's like it really affected them. I think they were solid, they were stable, and then just this patch just kind of threw everything upside down. And it's fun. It's something fresh. Any last thoughts from either of you guys before we move on to the next important topic?
I think fresh is the right word. We're seeing like more Invoker picks. We're seeing less Lifestealer. I think one hero that actually won out in the patch I didn't expect to is Alchemist. He's seeing like a lot more play, and he doesn't even have to go to Armlet build. Some people just go mech and just straight up push with them solo mid. LGD China likes to do that. So that's the one hero that I expected to be picked a lot less, but he actually gets picked slightly more now. But I think it's good that no Lifestealer, or he's like a situational hero now.
Manny, what about you?
Yeah, like I think Xiao plays like a really good alchemist, so that's maybe why they pick him a lot. But yeah, that like the HP removal of his ult is, I thought it would make him like unusable, but I guess it depends what teams like to go, I guess. So.
All right, Bania, hard-hitting question. The most important question that people have said over the past couple days. Where the hell is Dire Tide?
I'm so sad.
Everyone was looking forward to playing Dire Tide, and then
I know
nothing happened.
The whole thing is just getting bad, though. I didn't want to talk about it, but some people in chat brought it up, and then in the Reddit post, many people brought it up. So I feel like we had to say something. It's kind of sad that people are going to Volvo and putting shit on their Facebook asking for Dire Tide. Like,
I feel like it's the Grinch who stole Christmas. It's like all these people are just sad, and it's not like they don't have it ready. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of them not having it, and I was really looking forward to the event. I don't think it would have taken like extreme amounts of efforts on their part, but you can still play it on D2 Wear, I think, if as like a custom game mode, but that's not as exciting.
The only thing I can think of is that they're doing a Thanksgiving event, maybe, like, or maybe some kind of different festive holiday thing. Because, like you said, they already have it done. They could have just probably flipped a switch. Like, it wasn't a perfect game mode, but it was fun. So, I mean, I have no idea. The biggest loser in this whole thing is Cyborg Matt. He's turned into the punching dummy for everybody to freak out and blame him, like it's his fault because he works at Valve, which he doesn't. That was a joke. I don't know. Do you guys think there's going to be a Thanksgiving event? Is that anything, or are we just stuck until Christmas?
I hope there's one.
Okay.
I don't know if there's going to be one. There wasn't one last year. As far as I recall, it was just the Grieveling and Dire Tide, right?
Yes, that was it.
And now we're only possibly left with one. I mean, I guess if they come out with something cool for Thanksgiving, then it'd be nice. But I mean, I'd rather have something like Halloween and Christmas than Thanksgiving and Christmas, because Thanksgiving and Christmas is like less than a month away.
Yeah, that's true.
I just hope like the custom games are coming up soon. It's like really fun to play custom games. Like when you're a bit tired of playing a lot of Dota games, and just go and chillax with some TD or something like that.
Oh
So I
yeah.
hope that will come. That's a good substitution for a game like that, I think.
Yeah, secretly I'm hoping that the reason they don't have Dire Tide is because they're focused on another big patch, like that First Blood update. You know, they're going to come back with the Second Blood or something like that, and then release the custom game mode and all that other stuff. Maybe that would be like Thanksgiving-ish or Christmas-ish, but it would be nice to them just drop a big one and then say, hey, sorry about the Dire Tide thing, like here's this to make up for it. But it would have been nice if
I guess 6.78 could be like that, right? It's like, well, instead of Dire Tide, you get 6.78 or 6.79.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe. I mean, no one views it like that, but
No,
I mean, they
no
were
one.
working hard on 6.79. There's a lot of changes in there.
Yeah, it was huge, and I think a lot of people still have this mindset of it's just Ice Frog, like he's just by himself at his desk making these patch notes. I think there's a lot more that goes into it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of a all hands on deck type thing for that patch. But who knows? We'll see. But that's it. That's enough Dire Tide talk for me. We'll talk a little bit about some upcoming tournament stuff. Generally, I don't want to like talk too much about it, but generally the show format is totally open to interpretation with anyone who's listening. So if you have any feedback of stuff, feel free to let us know either on Twitter or email. The email's firstpickdota@gmail.com, and we're gonna try.
Sorry.
And we're gonna try to keep it as free flowing, and we can toss in different segments if needed. We can get other guests on. I want to try to keep it as open as possible. So if you have stuff you want to see, feel free to let us know. But for today, we're just gonna kind of wing it. We're gonna talk about stuff until someone kicks us out, and we'll go from there. So let's go right away. We got some tournament stuff coming up. The DreamHack, the Dream League schedule was released. This is the tournament that's going to be on TV in Sweden. Obviously, the tournament games are going to be fantastic. We got Liquid, Navi, Alliance, Fnatic, Virtus Pro, and EG. Top 8 or the top 4 from that will be playing in DreamHack Winter. I don't want to talk necessarily about the games and predictions because it's going to go on for a long time. But as far as this kind of being a big thing with Dota on TV in Sweden, Mania, do you think that's obviously it's important, but how important actually is it?
I think it's a huge step. Like I think Sweden always been like a really big fan of esports. Like from DreamHack, it's been growing for many years now, and I really like that the Swedish TV has now committed to making like a big show out of it. So I hope it's gonna be really great to watch. I'm sure the production value is gonna be really good.
Yes, I think especially for TV, we saw that with the OGN. Is it not Super League, Invitational? Whatever the OGN things do with Nexon, they're obviously kind of tailoring it toward a more TV format, and it is. The production value is just fantastic. It's very refreshing and very nice to see. Merlini, how about you? TV, good thing?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. They have just a lot more resources. I don't really know too much about it, so I'm not as informed as you guys.
Well, it's hard for us because we don't get shit on TV here. I mean, we have good stuff like The Real Housewives of Orange County and the Kardashians and high quality programming. So
That's an understatement. Don't sell those shows short.
It's real serious problems. So they're good stuff. Let's talk about G League. So the G League Worldwide Qualifiers, they were announced. The biggest thing in these is the finals are overlapping with the D2L finals in Las Vegas.
Which one has a bigger prize pool?
I know, but it's like there's only so many tournaments and there's only so many LAN finals. Like, just pick a different weekend.
I feel like there's just way too many now, actually. Like, there's always a tournament. Like, there's like 5 tournaments going on like at any given time.
Well, okay, so how about LAN tournaments then? Filter out
LAN
the online
tournaments?
cups.
The LAN tournaments, yeah, they should just schedule on different weekends. And I don't understand why that's that difficult. I don't know. They just need to get their stuff together.
Yeah, and I understand you have to plan these things so far in advance. So
right.
I guess you want to give them a benefit of doubt. But also, like the shit is out there. The tournament organizers have put their events out there really early in advance, and if you see it, just think like, okay, let's do a weekend before or a weekend after. The only thing I could think of is G League thought, hey, we're G League, people are going to come to our tournament, and didn't bother checking. It just kind of assumed. But then at that point, everybody loses, because for that worldwide qualifier, we have Alliance, Roxas, Fnatic, Speed, EG, and Empire, along with 2 qualifier slots. I mean, those are always all really big name teams, and 2 of them are going to China for those 2 weeks. So maybe if one of them doesn't qualify for D2L, then I guess they're going to go there. But still, just that risk of, you know, potentially being in 2 major lands on the same weekend is just bad luck. Mania, at these teams, looking at these teams, do you have any favorite kind of coming out of this qualifier?
I think like a team like
team
Speed
list?
Gaming, I guess.
Team list.
Yeah,
Alliance,
I think it's really hard.
Roxas, Fnatic, Speed, EG, Empire.
Probably Speed Gaming, then maybe EG as well.
All right. I would have not have predicted you to pick those 2. Merlini, how about you?
Well, what were the teams again? I heard Roxkiss, EG, Speed.
The document is all nice and organized with the link.
Okay.
It's okay though. Alliance, I'm just giving you a hard time. Alliance, Roxas, Fnatic, Speed, EG, Empire.
Well, I think the clear winner is Alliance here,
Yes.
but
okay.
I mean, Speed is looking really strong too. I was like, does Mania not like Alliance? I was like, I'm trying to make sure
Yeah,
that
I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, they must have just. I'm going back to the land thing. Like,
Yeah.
they either like just forgot about it or they didn't care, because I know even for D2L they scheduled around MLG Columbus as well as DreamHack qualify or DreamHack Winter too. So it's like 2 weeks of the regular season, not even the land finals. So I think it's just a slight oversight on their part. I mean, maybe it's just like the whole Western Eastern, no one talks to each other sort of thing.
It's
But-
it's a bummer. Maybe there should be like a liaison. I know people say this, but there should be like a, you know, a body that oversees all esports stuff. You know, we've been down that road. No sense to talk about that. But I mean, you said have someone from the Eastern scene talking with people from the Western scene. Maybe there needs to be some kind of official channel of communication so where this stuff can get worked out. It's unfortunate, but I know for me, I'll be in Vegas. I'd rather go to Vegas for that tournament because it's closer. I don't want to go to China. But yeah, let's. We brought up Speed, Mania. You mentioned them. Let's talk about the OGN Nexon Invitational. Speed Gaming will be there next week. They're going to be part of the 3 teams for that show match. This is through OGN. The 3 teams next week are going to be Dignitas, Speed, and MVP. And it's going to be the same format as last week that we had with Liquid Fnatic. So it's going to be Dignitas versus Speed, and then both of them are going to play MVP. So that's kind of like a round-robin show match type thing. Just looking at Dignitas and Speed, Mania, which out of those 2 do you feel is the stronger team coming in?
Come on, MVP.
All right, you can pick
just
MVP.
kidding.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. We saw last week what happened with the underrated. They just got stomped on in 04. So turns out they were rated correctly. All right, Mania, go for it.
I think I would go for Dignitas just because Demon is there now. He's really good at the LAN tournament, so I hope he can shake up and do some really nice moves and just show people why he's one of the most fun and entertainment players. So,
Is he going to go, or is he going to go to the gym, you think? Sorry.
Hard
It
work
was a cheap
dedication.
shot. I had to take it. Merlini, how about you? Are you going to agree with that statement on Dignitas?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen how new Dignitas performs on land or Speed for that matter. I think that on paper, I think like Speed is slightly favored, maybe like 55-45 or like 60-40. MVP stand no chance. I think it's pretty safe to say. But I give slight edge to Speed.
Okay. And then do you think MVP has a shot against either one of them?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, I mean, I would love to see some competition, but as it stands, there's absolutely like no way I'm betting on MVP.
Do you think any of the Korean teams have a shot in any of these tournaments? I think
FXO.
FXO
versus like the lower tier ones.
I don't know
lower
if
tier.
FXO's playing in this, though. Weirdly. Oh, you know what? They are. They're playing in Alliance DK bracket. So
Okay, well,
So it's Alliance,
That's
DK,
unfortunate.
and FXO. So if you check the
Did they
brackets,
plan it like that? Like I would hope
had to.
that they would pair like the weakest teams versus FXO, so the Korean team doesn't look as bad. Instead, they're like, well, of course our Korean team can compete against the best. We'll just make it the best week ever. I don't know what's going on in their heads, but that is clearly not where you want to put your best team.
maybe they just thought it'd be like a superstar week. You know, like maybe they'll get the biggest viewers, but
They will for Alliance DK.
yeah, not for FXO. So for people uninformed, FXO is no more. So it's now FOU. They went back to the FOU name. So FXO dropped their sponsorship.
What's FOU stand for?
For our Utopia.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
That's
just
an
in
awful
case.
name.
It
I
is,
just
but
saying that.
yeah. So their StarCraft squad and the Dota squad went back to that. So yeah, the 4 Korean teams underrated MVP, FOU and StarTale. Like, do you think any of these 4 have a chance? I would say I would agree. FXO did have a shot, but against Alliance DK, that's bad. How about StarTale? Maybe, right?
I mean, it depends on the other 2 teams they're matched against, but if it's like anything like Liquid Fnatic, Dignitas, Speed, Alliance DK, I don't think so.
Okay, so
Absolutely
I'd
not.
say they're in the weakest group. So that is StarTale, Virtus Pro, and Tongfu, but it's that Tongfu roster with Yafets and I think Long DD. It's that new roster they filled.
That's
the
not.
third
I mean,
squad.
that's not that bad of a team. I think
No, but
that.
if they kind of put them together to send them to here, I mean,
Yeah, I just have no faith in Korea Dota. Nah, at least not right now. Like absolutely zero faith. Like if it's
They need
Korea
a
versus
bit
Korea,
time, I think.
yeah, they need a lot of time, not a bit. they need a lot of time.
so how much?
I've
how much
seen
time?
some of the games. It is like aside from FXO, it is just not good. That's the only way to put it. I'm gonna be a Korean Dota hater.
That's okay. We need to have that. Do you think? Okay, so if you said a lot of time, 6 months, year, 2 years? All right. Oh yeah. Let
I'd
me
say
rephrase this.
slightly over a year.
All right. So then the follow-up question: TI4, will there be at least one Korean team there?
Maybe for publicity's sake, but in terms of competition, they're going to be like MUFC, the laughing stock of TI.
All right. I think that's fair. Mania, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I would like to see a Korean team just to try to develop the Korean scene because they've been excelling in all the other games. So I don't know why they should have a problem with Dota, but they need a bigger scene and better opponents to practice against. I think for them to improve.
Yeah, I mean, even FXO, a lot of their teammates are actually from America or Korea. That's the sad part. Like they're Koreans, but they moved there from North America. So if you're bringing in players only from North America, I mean, not to have anything against North America, but it's like when we talk about TI, it's usually only Europe and East, like China, that we're talking about, right? Like North American teams like Team Liquid, they place in the money, but nothing like that high. Same with Dignitas too. So EG didn't even qualify, right? So if you're bringing players from North America, you're, I don't know. It's just not the ideal situation.
No, not at all. And it's cool to see them making a shot. I feel like this invitational is what they needed. If we saw more tournaments like the Nexon sponsorship league, to where you do see that kind of very mediocre, it might be fun, but very mediocre play, I guess is the right way to phrase it. And
Bad.
okay, so I was trying to be nice. So if you see very bad play, it's probably not appealing towards that Korean audience if they're seeing all these other good teams play. So then they're not going to tune in, and it doesn't really it doesn't show Dota how awesome it actually can be. So I feel like by bringing these international teams in, maybe people watched that Fnatic Liquid game and thought, oh, this is different. This is really fun to watch. Maybe. I mean, Alliance DK, that's going to be a super hyped game, no matter if you're Korean or not. That's going to be very fun to watch, especially since they're both there on LAN in Korea. So they did a nice thing. The one bummer with OGN, I don't know if you guys saw, they put the games on their League of Legends channel, and not really League of Legends channel, they have an OGN Twitch channel, but if you subscribe to that, that's where the League of Legends VODs are, and then that's also where the Dota 2 VODs are, instead of splitting them up. So I noticed there's a lot of people in the chat going, what is this game? I was here for League of Legends, and why is this channel? Because they were following the channel. There seemed to be a lot of confusion on that. And then, at least for me, I didn't find any other way to get the VODs other than subscribing through them. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think so. Any last thoughts, Korea Mania?
No, I just hope they do better.
Maybe TI5.
Oh, TI 6,
TI6 in Korea. That'd be nice.
Seoul, Korea.
That'd be very nice. And then let's talk, I don't know, one last tournament, this kind of thing, and then we'll talk about some upcoming matches. ESWC, Manny, why don't you describe a little bit what ESWC used to mean to you?
Like ESWC used to be like the biggest Dota event, like for normal Dota players, and we look forward to go there and compete against like teams from China. I remember playing versus eHome and stuff like that at ESWC, but now it's just like, I don't know, like I know 4 of the teams I think at ESWC. I have never heard of the rest, and they came from qualifiers around the world, and they traveled from Brazil and Korea, and I don't know how they got there, but yeah, I'm just speechless like when I watch it.
Yeah, no, there's some teams like Anarchist, Energy Esports, Muhan. Like, I don't know. I like
better
to pretend,
or worse than the Korean teams?
probably worse than the Korean teams, right? I don't know. Okay, so I'm an outsider looking in. I didn't really follow ESWC too much back in the day. So when you were telling me that, I was like, oh shit. And then I looked into it. I'm like, what? Like, these are the teams that they got for this tournament? That's supposed to be this big land. And I'm not really too sure, how they did the qualifying process. They tried to get a wide spread. But it is kind of a shame that this went from being a great tournament back in the day and being kind of the premier type thing. And then now we have kind of nothing in there. I guess the finals would be okay. So the finals are going to be Evil Geniuses is in the finals. Then the winner of Empire versus 4FC, so 4 Friends in Chile or whatever. Winner of that plays EG in the finals. So I guess they ended with decent finals. But then, like, there was teams like Inside Esports. They didn't win anything. Anarchist. They didn't win anything. I don't know.
I just feel like it's so predictable when you like look at the teams participating, and then you already know who's gonna be in the final. Like, it's not good to have a tournament like that. I think where it's very predictable.
I think the unfortunate part too.
I was hoping for them. Yeah, I was hoping for some teams to like stand out, but there was just nothing happening.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Merlini, how about you on ESWC?
I think if you're in the Western scene and if you want a big land, you need Alliance or Na'Vi. There's just no other way around it. And if you don't have them to it, there's not going to be any hype. No one's going to be excited about it. You're going to have lower viewership. And it's somewhat same for the Eastern scene. I think you need like DK, probably LGD China as well as IG, maybe Tongfu now too. But it sucks for the LAN organizers, right? Because they have to cater to these 2 teams. And I mean, I guess it's nice for the teams because they can pick and choose since there's so many tournaments out there. But at the same time, for reputable tournaments, like they just have absolutely no luck without Alliance or Na'Vi.
It's a bummer, though. Do you think that it's bad for the scene in general that you kind of have to have that top billing team in order for people to be interested?
I think it's bad. It's certainly bad. I wish there were more competition and people would be like, oh my gosh, EG's playing in the finals. But I mean, are people really excited about EG playing in the finals? I mean, I think it's going to be a good match, but I don't think that people are hyped up about it as, let's say, the WPC finals, I think, are Alliance Na'Vi or something like that. Like, how many people are going to tune into that as opposed to EG versus 4 Friends plus Krilly or Empire?
Yeah.
But it has like the potential to be a really good tournament if they just if they would tell when they're having the qualifiers like more specific, because they have like one in every country if they can afford it. It's like that you have to pay some money to be able to hold that qualifier for ESWC. So like if they did like a Swedish one and like a Chinese one and stuff like that, like some good teams would come to the event, because everything. I feel like I think everything was paid, like the tickets were paid, and the prize pool is pretty good still. So it's like, why wouldn't they come for the event if they knew about it?
I think for the teams that did qualify, it was kind of easy money. For EG, Empire, and then Sigma, I'd say were the 3 favorite going in. I mean, if you go into a tournament with 12 teams, knowing that there's really only 1 or 2 other teams at your competition, it's beneficial for them, but it sucks being a viewer because you don't even want to watch. There's none of that drama. There's no hype. There's no wonderment on what's going to happen.
If you bet rares is exciting.
No, it's exciting when you win the rares, except when you bet on 20-80 odds for a week straight and you just lose everything. It's not. It's a shout out to Samo, by the way. I don't know if Mania obviously knows Samo. He showed me his Dota 2 Lounge betting history, and there's like 22 losses in a row.
Wow.
It's so bad.
wow.
It's a bad addiction. I think that is about it on tournament stuff for now. We got a couple big upcoming tournament matches I'd like to get your thoughts on. But real quick, briefly, today's program and future programs are being brought to you guys by Tweaked Audio from over at tweakedaudio.com. If you head over there and use the discount code FIRSTPICK, just all one word, FIRSTPICK, you'll get 33% off your order. You'll get free shipping, and they make the best headphones. So right now, if you look, I don't know if you can really see, these are headphones. These are the classic ones, and they're actually made out of wood. They are the best sounding headphones. And so shout out to them. If you guys head to tweakedaudio.com, use the code FIRSTPICK. A little bit of that comes our way, helps us out, helps us kind of keep the lights on and keep the show rolling forward. And hopefully we can bring many more in the future. But yeah, that's it. That's our little segment. And upcoming matches. What do you guys think about the WePlay loser bracket finals that are taking place tomorrow? Merlini, why don't you go first? We got Navi versus Liquid. Winner of that plays Alliance. Who you taking?
Liquid lost twice versus Fnatic EU in two best of ones, I guess. I remember one time they did get Tiny Wisp plus Nature's Prophet, and you can't really give the opponent team all three of the, or just Wisp, and that's just not good. I didn't really see the other game, but Liquid was supposed to be good at LAN. I think they're known to be a good team on LAN, but the problem is Fnatic is just their roster's a lot more stable, like Liquid, Watt, and Koikva, etc. So they still have some time to develop. But for that particular matchup, I think Navi will beat it, just judging by Liquid's slight, weak, recent performance.
Mania, what about you?
Yeah, I saw the last two encounters I had. Like Liquid won 2-1 in both of them. So I think they have a chance in the online. But I would still give like Navi the benefit of winning. I think the odds are on their sides for sure.
I think the one thing too to consider is Liquid's flying back from Korea right now. That time difference and that jet lag, I think that's going to really affect. I mean, it is an online tournament, so I guess you're in the comfort of your own home, but time zones suck, and especially when you are going in such a drastic change and have to play at a certain time, it's going to throw you off. Unfortunately, but the winner of that plays Alliance. That should be interesting. That should be a good match. There's always that potential for a Navi Alliance finals, which I think is the perfect dream for any tournament right now. It seems like Navi Alliance is becoming like the premier Dota rivalry. If they ever play each other in a final, that tournament obviously is going to be probably the most watched out of all the tournaments. So they'll be very happy to see that. But personally, I wouldn't mind to see Liquid. I just don't know if they have much of a shot. And then the other one we already talked about, that, or I guess briefly, ESWC. So potential finals, Empire versus 4FC. I'd say Empire's the favorite in that match. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. So then let's assume EG Empire final. Merlini, who do you take, EG Empire?
I think EG 55-45. It's still going to be pretty close.
Okay. Should be a good match. Mania, what about you? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think I would go for Empire just because of their form lately. They have been doing so well, and I feel like they're also really good at LAN, while EG is, I think, is one of their first LANs together as a team. Like the new team, right? So I think Empire would take it, but
Okay.
you know.
It should be a good game for sure. It should be entertaining. I don't know. Any other tournament stuff you guys want to talk about? Merlini, I guess for you, it was announced you'll be at MLG Columbus. That schedule was released, so that is November 22nd through the 24th, correct?
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I think
Yes.
DK Alliance and Navi are attending, so it's going to be good.
I think that tournament kind of is being set up as TI 3.5. Like, that is the big premier LAN, I guess, right now for North America. That tournament probably has the biggest teams. It's the best place to showcase Dota 2. And it seems like they're really diving in with Dota 2. I mean, you've probably been more involved than I have, but it seems like they're really betting big on Dota 2 because that event only has, I think, Call of Duty and Dota. So it seems like they're doing a really good job of putting Dota on a pedestal and being there. Any other stuff on that tournament you'd like to talk about real quick?
I think it's a smart move by them. They obviously recently just picked it up after TI3, after seeing that success. They had a small North American one, and after that, they're setting up with a really big, sort of worldwide one. So I think it's a good move by them to invest a fair amount of money. I wouldn't quite say, I guess TI 3.5 is about right. It is going to be the biggest LAN, even bigger than DreamHack, too. I think DreamHack used to be the biggest LAN outside of TI. So it's a good move by them. Good business move.
Yeah, definitely so. Mania, any thoughts on MLG Columbus? We'll obviously talk about it more when it gets closer. We're still about 3 weeks out from that. But as far as right now, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see how it goes. It's gonna be so great to see DK versus Western teams. So
should be fun. I mean, they're fun to watch always. And then the last tournament thing, D2L continues on. You guys are wrapping up on the Eastern bracket. LGD still undefeated. Isn't it if they win like one more match or something like that, they're clinching? I think that's the way it looked, right?
I believe so.
It's coming up. It's like if they win a couple more. I don't remember what the math was, but it seems like that they are, obviously the favorite going to the LAN finals in Vegas. Any other stuff for that tournament you'd like to bring up? Any particularly things people should know about, I guess?
I think Vici actually has been doing really well. They actually 2-0'd IG, and they're kind of like the dark horse that no one really has their eyes on. Everyone's eyes on DK, LGD, China, as well as IG, and maybe sometimes Tongfu, but Tongfu lost one of their recent matches versus a big team 2-0, so I don't really consider them that much in the running. So Vici,
Tongfu breaks my heart every time.
Yeah, they do.
So many rares on Tongfu.
Yeah, they're very difficult to bet on. They have like good odds, and you like have hope on them, but they just don't pull through. And you can they I think the last time I bet on them, they lost like 2-1. It was close, but they do lose me many rares.
Since you brought up VG, Sylar. So they're bringing in Sylar. That was announced earlier, and now their old carry Tutu is going to be out. Do you think that was the right decision for them? I mean, the rumor is.
I mean, for $25,000,
is that a bargain? Or what?
I don't think so. That's a lot of money. I mean, LGD Sylar's like, I wouldn't say he's like a dubious carry. He's a good carry, but he's not like the best in the world.
You wouldn't call him
25,000. I would not call him burning. Certainly not. But $25,000 for Sylar. I mean, it makes I think their team was like decently strong before.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for just one dude.
It's diminishing returns on that. It's just you don't get that much value out of that 25,000 if they have a decent one already.
Yeah. And then so the rumor is Tutu will be out after D2L, and then Miracle is going to be joining Rising Stars to take over Burning Slot, and Miracle was on first departure. Mania, how about you? Is that a bargain, $25,000?
Like I'm excited for the Miracle transfer, but I don't know about Sylar. It's like I feel like he haven't really like found his form like when he was at LGD, so I'm a bit skeptical about it because I thought Tutu was doing well for them, but let's see if like it pays out.
It's a weird area that we're going in with these buyouts and trades, but it's cool to see it kind of starting to mirror real sports. I don't want to say real sports, but like baseball, football, hockey, stuff like that, where there is contract buyouts and there's teams buying players, and hopefully this trend continues. It would be really interesting to see this. Like $25,000 is I want to say chump change. It's not also a ton of money, but it's a pretty good chunk of money if you just want to grab one player for a roster. And that roster wasn't bad. It was a very, like you said, they've been kind of the dark horse in D2L. But the fact that they're willing to go out and spend that kind of money to bring in someone who potentially might get them to the next level, I think is very interesting. And where that's going to go in the future. And also it's just kind of more money coming into the scene, which really helps as well. The other roster change, the big one, we talked about it earlier, Dignitas, they brought in Demon, Beatiz retires. It also seems like Beatiz will become a caster as well. I don't know, was he announced in that MLG group?
I'm not sure. I definitely know he was there for the Florida one. I think Demon is a stronger support player than Beat is. Demon just being way more experienced. So I think overall for Dignitas is very good, and Demon has a lot more. He's a way bigger fan base than Beat is. Not that Beat is unpopular. It's just Demon is bigger. So
No, yeah.
I think it's a very good move by Dignitas.
Yeah, no, I agree that it's a good move. I think Beat he's casted before, so it'd be interesting to see if he does jump into a caster role. I think that would be a good career change, I guess, for him.
I heard him cast with Shiver for TI3 group qualifiers.
Yes,
I did not stay around to watch that game.
No?
Anyways,
Okay.
Brian. There were like 4 games at once. Okay.
That's true. You have options. There's a lot of options. Mania, how about you? The Demon swap, is that a good one?
Yeah, for sure. It's a really good choice for them. I think it will bring like a more versatility to their lineup, and like he makes a lot of moves too. So hopefully it will strengthen them. I saw they lost their first match, but I don't know how much you can put in that. So
I think the big test is going to be them going to LAN in Korea. That's like the first big hurdle they're going to be accomplishing as a full team. The last news, I guess we talked about earlier, just throw it in real fast. Tongfu gets a third team. I guess the more important story is Yafits is coming back. He's tried to come back many times before. Is it Yafits? Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Because you know what? Everyone has saying
hits.
shit differently, and then no matter how you
hits.
say it, you get one email from somebody saying like, "You did this wrong, therefore I am giving you a 2-star review on iTunes." It's like, sorry, my grammar wasn't that great. So yeah, the team's gonna be SYDM, Long DD, Kabu, Yafits, and Zenex Bingo, or ZX Bingo. It should be a fun team. Merlini, you said they were pretty strong. Do you I don't know. You care to elaborate on that?
The only 2 names I really know are Long DD and Yafets. Those are really old school players. I haven't seen them in action, and I mean, I'm not really a big believer of this looks good on paper, and then I just really need to see a team and how they perform before I can judge them.
Yeah, there's definitely way more that goes into it. The only other name on there I'd say I recognize too would be Kabu. I think Kabu was on
I remember
Rattlesnake
Kabu too.
at TI3, right? I don't recognize it there too. Mania, how about you? Do you think this return of Yafits is going to be a successful one this time?
like it's their third team. So I don't know, but I think it's just like he's just a popular player, and so is Long Didi. So maybe they have like some kind of good deal with them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they work out. Also know that the SYDM, I think he was in VG before.
Okay.
It was one of the when they announced that Popstar team. So I think he's pretty good too.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll have to see. They're coming up. They'll be playing in Korea here soon enough. I think they're the last week, so it won't be next week. It'll be like 3 weeks from now, I guess, is when they'll be playing in Korea. So we'll find out. We'll see that. And as far as news and roster swaps and all that kind of fun stuff, we are out. Real quick, we're gonna throw another segment in here. Like I said earlier, we're gonna try to throw in different segments of stuff. We are open to suggestions. I know we were talking about earlier, maybe trying to get some drafts that happened, and maybe in like a really big best of 3, best of 5. We could have Merlini and Mania break it down on kind of your guys' thought process behind the picks and bans and why they're important, and kind of shed some insight, because the whole competitive scene for a lot of people, they don't have a good place to see really smart players thinking about this kind of stuff and breaking it down. So hopefully we can do that. Other stuff, we're kind of open to suggestions. Whatever you guys would like to see, let us know. We'll try to make it happen. This week we have a rapid fire hot seat question directed at Merlini. So I don't think you saw the question. So
I'm in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat. So this week's hot seat question, rapid fire, is being brought to you guys by Night Swarm. If you go to nightswarm.com, they do web hosting, web solutions, as well as you go to flexiblegaming.com. That is their gaming division. If you need a server for Counter-Strike, for Left 4 Dead, for Minecraft, anything like that, Night Swarm, flexiblegaming.com, that's the place you want to go. So right away, first question. Who has been your favorite teammate to play with?
Teammate? I like Mania. I said this before. Mania, he's my longtime buddy. I remember Pusher Street described him as like a big bear. He's like really quiet and nice, but if you ever poke at him, he will like destroy you, which is pretty much true. I remember playing with him on a team, and he doesn't really talk that much, but he just does his own thing and own. But he's always fun to play with. I like Pusher. I would probably rate second. Pusher, I haven't really played with him in like the past like year or two. He's been a little bit dodgy, so I got to dock him a few points for that.
All right. Good one. Next question. What is your most memorable match that you've played in or watched?
Watched, it would have
Either
to be the grand finals for TI3. Like definitely the last match was just absolutely insane. I was it was just crazy. So I don't think anything will take away from that. In terms of playing, probably DreamHack in 2007 or 6 or something with Mania. I don't remember which year. That's how memorable it was.
Actually, it was kind of funny. This is ruining the hot seat thing, but one of the matches, Mania, was, I think it was I don't remember what it was, but it popped up on Reddit this week. It was like the #1 match, and people were talking about it. It was a match from like 2008 or something like that, and it seemed like the hot thing. People were like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." Yeah, so sorry, we're ruining the hot seat thing. Next question for you. What is one hero that you never get tired of playing?
Rubik, I think.
Okay, Rubik's fun.
He can always steal spells if you're tired of what you have. So he adapts game to game to game, right?
Very good.
You don't get bored of him. Puck probably second.
You know what? Puck is pretty cool. I don't know if you heard, but Puck is a very pretty lady.
She's okay. She's okay.
She's pretty.
It's androgynous. That's
No, she's
as
not.
far.
She's the prettiest lady in all the land.
I don't know if it's a she.
She is a she, and she's very good looking. I think I have a Puck right here somewhere. I don't know. I'm not gonna look for it.
Better not say that with your fiance around.
No, it's over. Look at that. See, I told you. I had it.
Oh, nice.
Anuxie sent it to me after TI3, so thank you to her. Next question. What is your favorite non-TI LAN?
Non-TI LAN? Well, I've only been to a few others. I've been to the MLG one in Florida, which was not that great because it was only because of the teams that were competing. It was like Dignitas versus Sleazel's team. Do you guys know who Sleazel is?
No.
Okay.
Does not ring a bell.
Okay, so you guys shake your heads that my classification is deserved. Other than that, I mean, MLG Columbus, but I haven't actually been to it, so I don't know. Other ones that I've been to, I guess, I don't know. ESWC was pretty fun when we went. Mania. That was in San Jose, I think, in 2008. That was a lot of fun. But those are only ones that I've competed in DreamHack and ESWC. They didn't have many lanes back in our day.
No, back in the day. I like this kind of walk down memory lane, though. Back in, bringing up 2006, 2008. It's good.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, though. Okay, so this is, once again, ruining the hot seat because I like tangents. I think the majority of the Dota 2 crowd is fresh to Dota 2 and bringing that kind of stuff up. I think back in 2008, I don't know if people even knew, that stuff was going on, which is very interesting to see. That nowadays, you guys can kind of reminisce on what happened back then, and there's probably a huge portion of the Dota 2 audience that go, what the hell? What the hell's the ESWC? People were doing that Dota thing back in 2007. Like, I think that's really, really interesting that Dota has such a big history that a lot of people don't realize how big it is. Anything you guys want to add on that, I guess? Was it better then or better now?
It's way better now because there's more tournaments. There's a lot more money.
You're not going to say back in my day, Dota was way cooler and stuff like that?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm realistic, right? But Loda, we played against Loda a lot, and I don't think many people knew that he's just been around forever. I think he's probably been around like way longer than any of the other like super top tier players. He's back in our day too.
Stream's not looking good. Can you guys still hear me? Oh shit. Crashed.
Going down.
We crashed. Oh.
Oh.
What the hell's going on?
Back in our day, internet worked.
Yeah, back in our day. What the hell am I paying all this money to Verizon for? All right, give it a second. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's regurgitating. All right. Damn, that sucks. Buzzkill. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I think you guys can. I think it's coming back slowly. Last question, Merlini, for you. Which Dota hero would you take on a date?
Would I take on a date?
Yes.
If Puck was a girl, I guess I would. But I don't know. I don't trust people like you. Lena.
All right.
Lena's on fire.
Lena is on fire. She's very nice. Not as pretty as Puck, but she is very nice. Hopefully, people on the stream, it didn't crash and burn completely. I see the little webcam is a little bit fuzzy. So that pretty much wraps up what we had planned for today. Like I said,
Where's the hot seat questions for Mania?
Oh, don't worry.
Oh.
Next week he gets hot seat questions.
Dang. Okay.
We gotta spread it out, or else we're gonna run out of hot seat questions. gotta brew up some other ones. So yeah, next week Mania will be on the hot seat, and then after that we are going to try to figure out some other fun little segments that people would like to kind of see, partake in. We have a whole bunch of ideas. It's just a matter of making them happen. Let's wrap this up. I don't know. I guess I'll go first. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're on the VOD or if you're watching live, as well as if you're on the MP3. The goal is after we finish an episode, we're going to put the VOD over on the Flipside Tactics YouTube. So that's youtube.com/Flipside Tactics, but there's a stupid little 3 in there. So it's FLIPSID 3 Tactics. It wasn't my idea to do that, but someone is a squatter on the regular Flipside Tactics YouTube. So if you are that person, I guess we'll have to buy it from you or something. So we had to do that. As well as I'm going to put up on iTunes. I'll put an audio-only version on iTunes for people who are listening in the car, on the go, and all that kind of good stuff. And also, as far as recording times and dates, we're going to try to shoot for weekends. But as far as everybody's schedule, we're all, different time zones, different schedules. It's going to be hard. So I will try to, pick a time. We'll try to get it set in stone. And then I'll put it out on the Twitter. The Twitter is, I think it says First Pick Dota, all one word. So we'll try to announce it as early as possible, throw up a Reddit post, all that kind of stuff. Once again, if you guys have comments, feedback, that kind of good stuff, send it to firstpickdota@gmail.com, and we'll try to add it there. We'll do extra segments. We'll do more discussions. We'll try to just keep it, we'll do what we can. We'll try to mold and do the best we can. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter as well, it's twitter.com/IndieFinch. It's INDIEFINCH. And that is all I got. Merlini, why don't you go next? Where can people find your stuff?
On Twitter @Merlini Dota, MERLINIDOTA.
All right. It's easy. Mania, how about you? Where can people find you at?
At Facebook at Mania Dota, and on Twitter at 30mania. So have fun with that.
What's with the 30? Is there a reason behind the 30?
30 is because my childhood address is 30, so I don't know. I just use it as a random number in everything in my password. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So what else? What other stuff do you put in your passwords?
Yeah.
What elementary school did you go to? What was your mother's maiden name?
Oh yeah, 30 everything.
All right, I was hoping for like a good story on how like it represents something really important, but I guess an old address works. That's considered important. Thank you guys. Thank you, Merlini. Thank you, Mania, for being here. Hope you guys had fun talking about the Dota stuff. We will be back hopefully next week. We'll have more stuff to talk about. We'll try to figure out a game plan going forward. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Night Swarm Tweaked Audio for sponsoring us and helping us out. So again, tweakedaudio.com tweakedaudio.com, use the code FIRSTPICK, get the discount code, and then also thank you to Night Swarm. And that is it. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Oh, last thing, and then I'm for sure done. Thank you to Steve for making the intro. If you guys watched the beginning and the end, I'll play it again. The intro was fantastic. And also shout out to Rags for making the music as well. He did a great job. So thank you guys. We'll see you next week with episode 2 of First Pick.
Your turn to pick.
Let's go. I'm the man in Dota 2. We can take it to the scrimmage, and you know that I'll be winning. Just give it 30 minutes. Yanking in the lane. Hey, always in that gross. I see him trying to kite. Yeah, let's see just how far that goes. I carry in the scoreboard, he's carried in the hearse. Your tier 2 towers and your rats getting murked. Demolished what's in my way from the start to the finish.